Arca1964 here. Another visit to Hamilton Racecourse for a Sunday series meeting. I said before I'm a great fan of these innovations. I'm not a great fan of a racing league or Sugar Cup. I'm not weighing up into Sugar Cup this year. I mean, I haven't on BSA website. There's a fixture list and it hasn't come up yet. But that's it. I think I know when it is, and I might do. Mainly for this surprise video might be interesting, not because of the concept. I think, as I said in the video, I might link here with my my foot's on the floor. Put on something that's fallen off. That I don't think this sort of Silver Cup Racing League work in horse racing very rarely work in sports where there's an individual, when you lose the individual elements, I would say. So I'll link that video here. Groundbreaking video, of course. Probably if we see it, you'll probably double reviews, frankly. So I'm going to Hamilton again next month. I'm going this time by Edinburgh. It's not a bad cost. Usually with our Carlisle, as advance tickets for our Carlisle can be very cheap and it's useful. What I hadn't realised in a video I've put up, well, not put up yet, but that I was a bit lost here, that I didn't realise. I was confused about this. Suddenly there's no stand up 10 o'clock train out of Carlisle to Newcastle on Sunday, and despite going God knows how many times, 50 times maybe slightly more, I don't know, that direction, I've obviously never on a Sunday late evening, and so I have to go back via Edinburgh. Means actually again we're there about Edinburgh as well. Interesting, I think going via Bells Hill Station, obviously named after a great wily horse, or with someone who has a station was renamed at some point by a fan of the horse. I don't know if it's a York Hill Station, I don't think there is. But I was saying when I was thinking when I saw these Bells Hill Station listed, well, no, that's where Bells Hill is. And we know it's an area. It's an area obviously quite in Hamilton. I didn't know anything about it, frankly. I didn't know it was just an area. I thought it might be a hill as well. I don't know too much about that. Other meetings coming up. I said Hamilton next month. I'm going 3 times in 3 days actually. I'm not sure one of them's Hamilton or not. One's Cartmel. I know at some point I'm going to Newbury in July. I'm going to Newmarket July course in Wanaclete on the 2nd of August. But some of York I've been to recently and I'm going to again. And there's some others which I'm afraid I can't quite remember which ones they are. There's a few of them and I just know and I can't remember on earth I'm going to. Future might grow in the Fighting Fifth, probably a game. That's obviously much later on. I'm not going to play this year. I went last year or year before because I got a half price ticket. Basically I was at a meeting in August and I said, oh, half price tickets for play end tomorrow. I thought, oh, well, I've been to play only once. And with Vars, there was a really interesting innovation, and I'm not great on the race course or Wiener Racing Company, but that was a good innovation. Sort of consolation race for plate, that's good. But it's all a bit expensive in my view. I mean, it's all racing becoming expensive. Interestingly, I'm talking about, there's a lot of controversy about cost of food and drinking race courses. I'm doing a WFU online course about the WEA, Workers Education Association. One of them, it seems like totally nothing, is on gardens, history of gardens. But Vauxhall Pleasure Gardens, there was complaints in the 18th century. This has happened, I think there was a complaint, maybe early 19th. About cost of food and drink. And I just mentioned this to a tutor doing my talk, doing my seminar, I don't know if that's what it is. You can chime in every so often with stuff. I was saying, this is what happens now. And he said, yeah, we talked about having a captive audience. He said he'd been to Disney World Paris, maybe one of the Disney Worlds. He's saying it was, I think, yes, he did say it was Europe one. Saying when you get in, you get your tour and drink taken off you, and you have that same as any race courses on the whole, unless there's some sort of picnic area or something where, and then it's extortionate cost. And so it's not a new thing, this. People won't be thinking, oh, you've been ripped off in places, race courses. I mean, but it's still, it's this historic thing, so we say, but still, I mean, I don't mind paying over the odds sometimes. But when it comes to ridiculous reading about Chester, not a fan of Chester at all. Chester City exists to make Chester look good, with our 2 most least favourite race courses in the country. And there was a Twitter, I still call it Twitter, post saying about how much a burger was costing, how much other stuff was costing, the race course costing £5. It's ridiculous, man. And apparently they're saying the attendances are down. They're saying like, with Derby, attendances are down. Well, I remember and work out. I haven't really seen a Nick No podcast on it, but I mean, there is one apparently, and there's a reason people are saying, well, it's a cost. And I went 2015. I don't have it on me. The costs Premier or Grandstand ticket. Might be 50 quid. I can't remember. And I certainly know on 17 treat to myself in the only time I ever worn a top hat and a morning suit. I've been to a few weddings in my life, but never, worn a suit or stuff. Never been a top hat, or I never know anyone who's done that sort of thing in a wedding. So the only time I've ever been was 2017 to a Derby with girls at the Queen Stand. And that suit was 100 quid. I mean, maybe slightly above, I don't know, but now it's about 150. Are people wondering why, one tends to down? Well, because you're charging a ludicrous amount, and you can't just blame that on cost increasing. I think the Jockey Club are making an effort to do so ridiculous debt which they failed to do by selling off Kempton, and the debt has gone down apparently. And I think they're doing it by fleecing customers. I mean, and it's long term it may not be great. I'm not sure. If you start getting whipped off, do you come back? And Chester's gone off, as they're saying, had Tennison's down, and I don't know. It's very good. I'll never do a course on the history of women sculptors for over 5 centuries, and there's one of them said at 11 o'clock, and then we have to in the train, and going via Edinburgh, saying as well, way in as well as the way back. So I'll have to see the reception for that. Don't think there's anything else. I'm trying to think what this leading racecourse is going to are. I've got a note of them obviously on my computer, but Haydock's 1/8, Haydock July the 5th. Some herring fool on a bleeding motorised bike. It really annoys me, the delivery riders. Newcastle have a real problem in the last few years. Or delivery drivers, bike riders. No issue with bike riders, it's people doing it. Delivery riders, they may have mentioned in one video as well, where I feel they're just probably not getting paid enough and have to hare around. And it's bleeding dangerous. There's a motorised one going through, and it's just like a motorbike on the pavement. Well, I'm sorry, I don't know the legality of it, but you don't want a motorbike showing along the pavement, and it's effectively going up. The speed is really fast, and it is bleeding dangerous. So that is that whinger, but I think a justified one. No, I don't go to a pub today. I have a bit of a time before race. I get to Hamilton about now 20 for the first race. Or there's also things you can do in Hamilton. I could actually walk from Motherwell actually safely if I was a train. In fact, it's about 3 miles from Motherwell station to Hamilton, the racecourse. There's a bit of a trek, and I can't be bothered. Unless the train's cancelled or something, it looks like it's going to be cancelled out of Motherwell. I won't do that. How much, Johnny? Let's say before first race. Looks like it might be raining. I don't raincoat with me. I was going to say, it's one rare time so I'm actually I got shorter horses, but actually left it totally off. I usually put bets on overnight, say. But I leave it the next day because I have no idea what ground conditions are. It was good going off in place in Hamilton, but rain overnight is well, it's just predicted to be horrific. I was at the Glass House last night, it used to be called Sage in Gateshead, in Newcastle in Gateshead, and watching Benjamin Glover play Sostakovich, and I think he won. Dear me, sorry. But I was on a small event after the friends of the Glass House. But I looked at form beforehand, and but I know it's supposed to be really heavy rain, and I know the conditions are going to be. There's nothing possible. I doubt it. Apparently, it doesn't look like that's happened. It's been cancelled. I had a Kelso meeting once. It was good ground. It was massive rain overnight, and it was actually abandoned. Even it wasn't any frequency wasn't under threat at all until the weather just hit. But I think less likely, I suppose, for Flats meeting to be cancelled. I think it was standing water at Kelso, actually, something like that. Obviously, you can't run racing in that. But it could be heavy ground, for example, maybe anything. Or indeed, like Epsom, that wind didn't really hit. So is it right? I mean, there's a small bit of rain between 2 to 4. It's just before meeting 3:45. So I say some of the who's meeting is a bit later. So I have no idea. I'm just going to get my train and just see. I'm in it with conditions say good to soften places, but I suspect we're just not been updated. So I have no idea what it's going to be.